Okay, wonderful. So today we are going to be talking about reward systems. This is something that I briefly touched upon in previous workshops in the series. So in Challenging Behaviors workshop, I spoke about this reward systems being a way to improve positive behavior and decrease inappropriate behaviors or behaviors that you would like to decrease. And I also touched on reward systems in the discipline versus punishment workshop as a way to promote positive behaviors as well. So my goal for this workshop really is to walk you through the steps of how to create a reward system at home. Be as interactive as you can. I will be following the chat to see comments you're making, and you can also unmute yourself and provide input on it. So what is the purpose of reward systems? One, to promote positive behavior. And while you're promoting positive behavior, of course, the negative behaviors would be decreasing. To encourage responsibility in children. So children have the opportunity to work on a specific goal and see that they reach their goal when they are earning rewards through the system. To enhance self-esteem. So as kids are earning rewards and getting positive praise regarding the positive behavior they're demonstrating, it builds their self-esteem. It allows them to feel confident that they can demonstrate positive behaviors and reach goals that are set for them, and hopefully that they also can set for themselves. And also it just builds good habits. A pattern of completing tasks that are important in the home or showing behaviors that increase positive interpersonal skills with others. So that is the purpose of using a reward system. So we're going to get into the steps of how to create them. Some of these steps you, again, might remember from previous workshops that in the series. So the first step when you're thinking about creating a reward system is identifying the desired behavior. What is it that I want my child to improve on, or in what area can they increase positive behavior? It's helpful to think about some of the stuff maybe they struggle with or they're not motivated to do as a way to identify the behaviors that you want to target in the reward system. So when we think about behaviors for a reward system, we want to make sure that as the parent that you understand specifically what behaviors you're targeting or you're trying to increase, and not just focus on generalized behaviors, because you and the child have to know exactly what they're working on. So the desired behavior must be clearly defined. So the category can be very broad. So like specific behaviors or tasks to focus on could be chores, could be homework, but you want to explain what that means. So what chores are you specifically want the child to engage in when they're home? Or what part of homework would you like them to improve on? So instead of just saying something like cleaning your room, you might say, I want my child to work on placing all their clothes in their drawers after they do laundry, or after you do laundry, maybe you want them to put their dirty clothes in the hamper after they wear them, or you might want them to put all their toys in the chest. But again, when thinking about what you're targeting, you want to be very specific. So you're aware and also your child is aware. And then the desired behavior should be realistic, achievable, and based on the child's ability. So something within their ability to do. So it might be something that they're able to do, but they, again, are not motivated to do, or they might have some difficulty with it, but they're able to do part of it, and you're trying to build their confidence of doing the other parts. Okay. And then we want to make it simple. This is important because you don't want to overwhelm yourself and you don't want to overwhelm your child. So the recommendation is to focus on 2 or 3 behaviors at a time. In some instance, you might be focusing on one, which we'll talk about different types of reward charts later on. But you don't really want to start with 5 behaviors or 7 behaviors. One reason is because it's very difficult to be consistent and maintain that, and it's going to be harder to track. In a reward system, you have to be able to observe the child doing the behavior you would like them to improve on. So if you have 7 behaviors on your chart, then you would have to take extra time throughout your day to ensure that how are they doing with each of these behaviors. So the less behaviors you start with, it's going to be the easier to monitor, and you're going to be able to be consistent with it. That's one of the important parts for a behavior or reward system to really work, is for it to be consistent, not with just you, but with everyone in the home if they're a part of the reward system, if you put them as someone that's monitoring the system with you. Once you identify the behaviors you want to work on, the specific behaviors, number 2 is identifying the types of rewards that will be earned. Now, this is a step that you should think about on your own and then also include your child in. So there are 2 types of rewards that can be used in reward systems. It can be tangible rewards. So these are physical objects or activities that you give the child when they complete the desired task, or at the time when they are scheduled to earn the reward. So tangible rewards are toys, snacks, it could be books, it could be craft supplies, but they're physical items. And then intangible rewards are non-material ways to recognize children. So some children love verbal praise. A lot of children do. Some children, it's not enough, but verbal praise is one. Hugs, high fives, maybe a family activity that you do together. For instance, going to the park on a Friday, or watching a favorite movie with the family, or it could be privileges. For example, extra time watching their favorite television show, or extra time at their friend's house for a play date. So when you're thinking of a reward system, think of the type of tangible rewards or intangible rewards that you want your child to earn. I like to recommend a mixture of both. So if you can mix it up, maybe if they earn a certain number of points, they earn an intangible reward, and then higher level points, they earn tangible rewards. But at the end of the day, it has to be something that your child finds motivating and valuable. So we're looking for things that, not just things that your child likes, but that your child is willing to do the specific behavior for. So that's why I say it has to be something that you discuss with your child and come up together, because again, they're going to be the one earning the rewards in this reward system. So an example of a tool you can use this on paper. You can write it down, just make a list so that you're keeping track with your child, or create something like this visual aid and do it with them, is a reinforcer list. And make categories and ask your child, what are some things in these categories that you love and that you'll like to earn for a reward for doing the positive behaviors that you identified. So this is a time where I'm going to ask you, what are some things that your children like that could fall in these categories? You can write it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself if you can think of some of your child's favorite foods, toys, maybe sensory activities, or just family activities that they enjoy. I'm going to give a minute or two to see if anyone has any ideas they'd like to share. And you can unmute yourself if you like.
So Desiree, can it be something that you would say is maybe generally given in moderation that can be used as a reward. So, you know, something like a chocolate or like a candy. So something that they don't maybe get every day, that you can incorporate there. I see somebody also mentioned like pizza or like social media time.
So I would, for a reward system, I would choose something that is only earned, that is going to only be earned in the reward system.
Okay.
Only
Okay.
because it makes them more likely to engage in the positive behavior to earn it. So I see pizza and social media time. Social media time is something that, so intangible items like activities or something that maybe they can earn out of the reward system, but with the system, they earn extra time doing it. So if normally they get an hour of social media time after school, then yes, you can still use it in the reward system and say, if you earn the points needed, you get an extra 15 minutes. But in terms of tangible rewards like pizza, a coloring book, a new race car, if you're choosing to use that in the reward system, I would only use it. I would only allow the child to access it when they earn the points for it in the reward system. So that's why I say I recommend a mixture of tangible rewards and intangible rewards in reward systems. Going to the park is a wonderful one. Especially that could be used in a weekly reward system. Going to the butterfly farm, great, extra time, yes. So even the, I don't know if going to the butterfly farm is free, but if it was something that costs money, maybe that's something they earn in a bigger reward. It takes more points to earn that. So let me see. Okay, it costs money. So yes, that might be something that it takes more points to earn. Because we want rewards to be realistic and within your budget. So when thinking of what you're going to choose some free things and choose like activities, and then choose some things that could cost money on the lower end and maybe higher cost. But again, reward systems have to be consistent. So you don't want to choose something for the chart and then they earn the points 1 week for it, and then it's not within your budget. So just think cost effective when choosing the items that are
¿Blip?
good.
Sim, Guilherme também se teleporta.
Okay.
Dúvida.
So once you have your behavior, what you're targeting, you have the rewards that you're going to use in your chart. These are some of the things I want you to consider. You have to think about the guidelines. So specifically, what kind of tokens will you use on the chart? And again, this can be according to your child's interests. So it could be stickers to indicate they completed the task. It could be a smiley face. It could be a check mark. You can use a number of things on a chart, and I'm going to show you some examples later on of reward charts. So think of what kind of tokens you're going to use and how often the child would be able to earn the token. Would it be multiple times a day, daily, or weekly? So for instance, if it's something like cleaning up your room, how often do you expect the child to do the smaller behaviors that include cleaning up your room? Is it just when they come from school? Is it in the morning? Just to consider how much tokens they'll be earning for this. And then you need to consider how many tokens are needed to earn a reward. For example, you might say, if they earn 5 tokens, then they're able to get extra social media time. But they need 10 tokens to earn a trip to the park. So this is where you're starting to think about, you're really creating the reward system. What are the rules for earning? Do they have to do everything perfectly? What is the standard to which, if it's chores, that you want the specific chores to be done? and this has to be explained to the child. You should model it. When you're coming up with the behaviors you're targeting, when you first make the chart, you should actually explain to your child what it is you're expecting from them by showing them what the expectations are for earning that token. And then you want to think about who will give the reward. Are you only in charge of giving the rewards out? Will your spouse as well help with giving the rewards out? If it's a younger child and you have older children as well, can they give the rewards out when the younger child earns it? And all of these things need to be explained once the chart is completed to the child that's going to be able to access rewards through this reward system. So you're thinking of all these kind of things before you're creating the reward system. And then once you have all of that down, you can begin to design your reward chart. And again, this is a step that you will be doing with your child. It's actually a very fun activity. Parents that have done this that I've worked with tell me they love it, their children love it, because especially when they can design it how they like. So if they like Disney, using Disney characters on the chart, whatever makes the chart more interesting to your child is how you should create it. So when you're thinking of the design, you want to think about, is this a daily chart, a weekly chart, a monthly chart, or an activity chart? And again, for children that are starting off, we wouldn't want to wait so long for them to earn rewards, because we want there to be success early on to motivate them to continue doing the behaviors that you like to see. So you might start off with them being able to earn rewards daily or weekly. And then as they get more comfortable with using a reward system, and maybe they're able to wait and they want higher end rewards, meaning rewards that might cost more money, you might move then to a monthly chart. You want to include columns for the task or behaviors you want them to demonstrate, the days of the week or the day, and then reward points or stickers. That's something that will be included in the chart. I would recommend using pictures as well as words to show the behavior that you would like your child to demonstrate. So if it's putting clothes in the hamper, you would have a picture of a hamper on the reward chart in the section that shows the behaviors, just as a visual aid and a reminder of what's expected of them. Include the rewards on the chart as a reminder. So every time they see the chart, they're able to remember, oh, there's a picture of an ice cream. That's something I'm working for. Or there's a picture on there of a toy car. That's something I really want, and that's what I'm working for. So as a visual reminder of the awards they can earn, and then involve your child in decorating the chart. So make it a fun activity. Once you come up with it, it can be a family activity, and then finally putting it in areas that are visible. So whether it's going to be in your child's bedroom or maybe in the living room, some people put it on the fridge if they use a magnet with their reward chart. But we want to be somewhere where the family could see and where your child is going to be able to see it and look at it daily. So these are some examples of reward charts that you can create. And again, I'm going to go in more detail of the different kinds of charts. But the example of the caterpillar, that's an activity or a task kind of chart that you would use. So in that, the child would probably just be working on one behavior that you have them working towards, and then at the end of the behavior, they're able to earn something. The multicolored chart at the top, as you can see, it has the days of the week. So this is a weekly chart. And then on the column that says this week, you would put the behaviors that you would want the child to demonstrate or you're trying to increase, and maybe in the circles, you might put a check mark, or you might put a smiley face when they demonstrate the behavior. And at the bottom, as you can see here, they're only using one reward. So they're saying stamps needed, maybe it's going to the park. Maybe they would put, you need 10 stamps, and then my reward will be going to the park. So in that instance, that person is only using one reward to motivate the child to demonstrate the behaviors. In the chart where it says Mila's reward chart, again, it's a weekly reward chart because it has the days of the week. On the side, you see it says my goals: brush teeth, reading practice, tidying toys, washing pots. And then at the bottom, it has different rewards that the child can earn. It could be a new toy. They have iPad time, an adventure, or stickers. So they're using multiple rewards in that section. At the top chart that says chart pad, this child is working on about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 behaviors. Again, I wouldn't recommend that to start off with when you're beginning to just use reward systems in your home. This might be for a child that has been using reward systems for months, or maybe a year or so, and they've gotten good at it. And now the parent is adding more behaviors that they would like to be consistent with the child. So I won't recommend starting with that many behaviors, but it might be for a child that is used to using reward systems in their home. Okay, so going more specifically in the types of reward charts so that you can think about which one do I want to start with. So the activity or task reward chart, that's the one with the caterpillar that we saw. If you're using that chart, it does make learning more engaging by associating it with positive rewards. So you could use it, maybe your child never wants to do their math homework. So that's something, a behavior, a positive behavior you want to increase. You might only be using the reward chart for them completing their math homework. So it's just an activity. So you don't need the days of the week. You can use it every time you sit down and the child works on their math homework. And in that, children learn that completing that specific activity leads to a positive outcome. So the child knows every time I'm doing my homework, the chart is on the table next to me, and I know that if I get all my check marks, that I'm going to earn 10 more minutes of TV time or an extra bedtime story. And it shifts the focus from negative behaviors to positive achievement. So maybe usually during math homework, the child is engaging in off-task behaviors, getting up out of their seat, asking for water, saying they need multiple breaks. But when you introduce the chart, their focus shifts from that, and it shifts to, I'm trying to earn extra TV time. And again, the chart is added as a visual aid to help the child remember what they're working for. And again, you would have a picture of what the reward is that they're going to earn at the end of the activity. So it can be really good to promote the positive behaviors during that time. And using an activity task reward is helpful for children that need immediate feedback. So they might not be able to wait for the end of the day to earn a reward, like a child that's using a daily reward chart or a weekly reward chart. They might need immediate gratification to complete that task. So if your child, if it's an activity that's very hard for them to get through, and you just want to start off focusing on that one activity for your child, whether it's brushing their teeth, You could use it if your child generally doesn't like to brush their teeth, maybe because of sensory issues, and that's something you're trying to improve. You might use an activity chart and focus just on brushing your teeth. And every time they do a step of that behavior, picking up your toothbrush, putting toothpaste on for every step, giving a check mark on that reward chart. And then after they finish brushing their teeth, say they watch 5 minutes of a cartoon on YouTube, whatever it is. But it might be beneficial to use an activity reward chart in that instance where you're focusing on one behavior and your child needs immediate gratification. And it keeps them motivated for that task. And finally, it encourages repeated practice of the task. Okay. It encourages repeated practice of tasks, leading to mastery and increased confidence in those areas. So it helps the child to remain confident as they start being successful and earning rewards. They're able to see, yes, I can do this. I'm confident. I know I'm getting better at brushing my teeth. And of course, you're offering verbal praise as the child is earning check marks on the reward chart and every time they earn rewards. So that's an example when you would specifically use an activity chart for your child. And again, this is an example of an activity. So as you see here, Caleb, he's working on getting dressed. So you might have your chart here. This parent is using stars for their activity chart. And here at the bottom, you see a visual of what tasks the child has to do, what behaviors. So the child has to put on their underwear, they earn a star for that. When they put on their shirt, they earn a star. When they put on their shorts, they earn a star. When they put on their socks, they earn a star. And when they put on their shoes, they earn a star. And then at the end of it, they earn their favorite yogurt. So this can be an example of how you would use an activity chart. And when you're starting off, your expectations don't have to be that the child is perfect in doing this. You can set the rule that if you get 3 out of 5, a minimum of 3 out of 5, then you're able to earn the yogurt. And as they get better, you might increase it. As they're getting the 3 consistently and earning, you might speak to your child and say, okay, you're doing so great at this. Now I'm going to move it up to 4. So you got to try to earn 4 stars to get the yogurt. So that's the way you can use the activity chart. So daily reward charts. This is a step up because the child has to wait a little longer to earn their rewards. But again, it does provide feedback in a short period of time because they're able to earn rewards daily. And the child will also draw a connection between their actions and the outcome of their actions. And then children learn to achieve short-term goals, which again increases their confidence in completing the behaviors, positive behaviors that you would like them to see. So if your child is able to at least wait till the end of a day to earn a reward, this is a chart that you can use. And then also you have bigger rewards that promotes the child to delay gratification. So they might say, I'm saving up for a bigger reward. So this is something that you can use. I'm going to show you an example of a daily reward chart. So each day, as you can see, it's different from an activity chart because the child is focusing on more than one behavior or activity. So here, the expectation is that the child brushes their teeth, they get dressed in the morning, they eat breakfast, and they go on the school bus. So that's 4 behaviors. And they're able to earn a smiley face as a token, and then redeem the tokens for different different rewards. So say the child only earns 1 sticker, they might earn a new sticker for their notebook. If they get 2 stickers, they get an extra story time at bedtime. If they earn 3, they get 15 minutes of extra iPad time. And if they earn 4 stickers, they get a new crayon. So in this example of the daily reward chart, they're able to earn different rewards each day based on their performance. So it promotes them to increase the amount of behaviors, positive behaviors that they do, because maybe their favorite thing is coloring. So every day they would want to earn a new crayon, and it's something that you would remind them and have a visual of these things on the chart. As you can see on the right, this parent that created this chart has a visual aids of what each behavior is as a reminder of what the expectation is, and they use it as a check mark. But again, I would put the rewards at the bottom somewhere on the chart so the child knows what they're working towards. And a weekly reward chart. So weekly reward chart helps the child set and achieve longer term goals. So it fosters patience and perseverance, because again, they're not going to earn the rewards maybe till every Friday or every Sunday. So it allows them to wait longer for rewards. And it encourages the child to think beyond just immediate gratification. So it teaches them to work towards something for a longer period of time. And again, throughout the week, it also provides opportunities for the child to reflect on their behavior. So maybe on Monday, they didn't earn all the stickers they could. Each day, you can set aside some time in the day to discuss with your child, oh, today you earned 3 out of 5 stickers. That's wonderful. Tomorrow, what are you going to try to work to earn? And maybe the child says, I want to at least try to earn 4 stickers. So it's encouraging the child to even increase their own positive behavior, reflect on their behavior, and maybe discuss some of the challenges they had that kept them from earning all 5 of the stickers for that day. So it does promote a sense of responsibility because they know that they're working towards a goal at the end of the week. And like I said, it provides an opportunity for you to discuss your child's progress, their challenges and their successes on a regular basis. So again, a weekly reward chart, it requires more patience. It might not be something you start your child off with. You might want to do a progression and start with an activity chart first, move to a daily chart, then do a weekly chart. Or you may feel that your child is able to start off with a weekly chart. And then if you see that it's a little more difficult, you can always move it down to a daily chart if you then determine that your child might not be ready or it might be extremely difficult for them to wait, and they're not as motivated anymore because they're not getting success as quickly with the weekly reward chart. So as you're using reward systems, you always want to stop and reflect, whether it's at the end of the week or every 2 weeks, and talk about your child's success and think about, is this route going to be the best route for my child in terms of reward systems? Okay, and this is an example of a weekly reward chart. So maybe you're focusing on your child brushing their teeth, getting dressed by themselves, and putting their toys in the chest after playtime. So it's 3 behaviors. So every day they're able to earn at least 3 stickers. And then, as you can see at the bottom, at the end of the week, you're going to tally up their points. And if they have 5 stickers, they're earning a small treat, like a piece of candy. If they get 10 stickers, an extra story at bedtime. 20 stickers, a trip to the playground, and 30 stickers, a new coloring book. So some children, they might want to save and, you know, go for the high rewards. Some kids might say, although I earned 30 stickers, can I have 3 pieces of candy or 5 pieces of candy? It's up to you. Again, you're the one that's making this reward system, explain it to your child and incorporating them into the reward system. So you have the ability to choose how it goes, and then again, reflect and change it. But if you make any adjustments, obviously it's a conversation you have to have with the child, because the goal is consistency. So you don't want to change it up too much. Okay. So once you've created, you designed it, you know which rewards you're going to use, you know which behaviors you're targeting, then implementation. This is the most important part, because consistency and how you implement the reward systems will determine how successful they are. So you want to be sure to provide the reward once it's earned. So in reward systems, children can't lose points. You can only earn. So if your child earned their 15, say they're on a weekly reward chart, they earn the points needed for their reward, but they have a bad day. It might be a behavior totally unrelated to what you're focusing on the chart. You should not then say, you know what, even though you have your points, you're not going to be able to get your reward today. That's something that sometimes parents would like to do, but it's not going to be helpful in motivating your child. Once they earn the reward, it's earned. They can't lose it. So at the end of the week, if they got the points, you should be giving the reward to them. You should provide specific rewards only when it is earned through the reward system. So this is where the question that was asked earlier. For intangible rewards, again, I would recommend, if you're going to use it within the system, they earn extra time doing that activity that they like. But for tangible rewards, toys, items, if you're choosing that for the reward system, let it be the only time that they're able to earn it. So it will motivate them more. You want to place the chart in a visible and accessible location. So whether it's in your child's room, in the kitchen, in the living room, you want it to be in a place where they can easily see it, look at it, remind themselves what they're working for. You want to ensure it's easy for the child to update their progress, meaning if you're using stickers, I would have the child put the sticker on the chart. So they feel, again, part of the reward system. We want it to be easy for them to access and understand their progress. So using visuals on the chart so that your child's able to understand what's happening. Regularly check the chart with your child. So go over it with your child daily. If it's an activity, you're going over it with them at the end of the activity. You're talking with them about their progress. You're talking to them about maybe some of the challenges they're having and how you can help them in the intermediate, or show them again what the expectation is so that they can earn the points, but you're reviewing it with your child. Offer praise and encouragement for the progress. So even if they only do one of the behaviors and your chart has 3 behaviors you're focusing on, you still want to offer them praise if they're making progress towards their goal. And then you can adjust goals, rewards, and tasks as needed. So don't feel like once I make this chart, I can't change it. You can, but again, you would have to review it with your child again, review the expectations so that they are clear about what the expectation is for them. Okay, and be patient. It might take a while, especially for behaviors that the child has engaged in for a while, whether it's negative behaviors and the behavior you're focusing on is the replacement behavior. It may take a while for the child to engage in the behavior. If it's extremely hard for them, or they're not motivated to clean their room or to get dressed, at the beginning of it, it might be a challenge. But again, once they begin to enjoy the rewards and start to see success in the reward system, most children that I've seen it implemented with, parents do see progress. But behavior is not going to change immediately. It takes time for behavior to change. Again, it will take time and practice. And as a parent, the goal is to just be consistent. Consistent with it, you will see positive change over time, especially if the rewards are motivating. So if you see that you've been consistent, it's been a few weeks, you're not seeing any improvements, one thing I want you to reconsider is the rewards that you're using, because maybe the child might like that reward, but it's just not motivating enough to get them to engage in the positive behavior. So then you might have to go back and brainstorm with your child something that they really want to gain as a reward, and how you can incorporate that in the reward chart. Okay, that was a quick training, but this is the time that you can ask me some questions. If there's some behaviors that you're thinking about using for a reward chart with your child, you can let me know, and I can give you some ideas of which kind of reward chart you might want to use. So any questions you have, please feel free to ask in the chat, or you can unmute if you have any questions. Okay, is there a difference between using this system with small children or teens? No, there's no difference. There's no difference. You would just tailor it to your child's interests. And again, it really depends on their ability to delay gratification and what you're working on and how the chart might look. So for a younger child, you might be using, like you saw, caterpillars on it, but for an older child, the chart might look different. If they don't need pictures on it, you might not use pictures. You might just you might just use words. They might not need stickers or smiley faces. They might just use check marks or put complete. And it's something that they do in school. So for doing homework. Okay, for example, so if the think of the child's ability level. If your child is able to do homework, but maybe they just forget, they're forgetful, they're not staying on top of it as a teenager to do their homework. On the chart, you might make a very simple chart that says, from their school, every day they get some kind of math homework, some kind of reading assignment, and some kind of writing assignment. That's something you would put on the side of the table. And then when they complete their homework, if they're independent enough to do their homework on their own, you could have them themselves check it off. And then after, you come and ensure that the check marks that they actually did it. And then again, for teenagers, their reward might be spending extra 15 minutes or 30 minutes at my friend's house, or going to the movies on Friday night with my friends. Whatever it is, you tailor it to your child's interests and your child's ability level. So reward charts, I've used it with young children, preschool, elementary, and I've used it with teenagers. And all all children are interested in rewards if it's tailored to their interests. So some, for example, one teenager, he was very interested in like anime. So on Fridays, like one of the rewards for completing homework or academic tasks was to he could earn an anime shirt, or he could watch extra TV time because his mother limited TV time during the week. So he was able to earn that. And he liked going to his friend's house. So that was something on the chart. So again, you can tailor it to whatever the behavior is you're trying to see increase and what your child's interest is. So hopefully that helps. Okay, I got a thumbs up, so yes. Any other questions?
Desiree, is it maybe also a good idea for parents who might be working on specific behaviors that also happen at school, for example, to let the teachers know that they have a system, and that maybe, I remember when I was a kid, that is how my parents did it. So my teachers would write it on, sorry, let me put my camera on. They would write it on the school sheet, like and they would say like if I complied with a certain behavior or if I didn't, and that also helped me count towards like, you know, a reward system. And I remember that the reason for this was to ensure that there was consistency, and that, you know, teachers were also working on the same behavior so that you know, you have like that teamwork. Is that something that you would recommend as well?
Yes, I'll definitely recommend letting the teacher know some of the skills that you're working on, especially academic skills, but it doesn't have to be only academic, so that both support systems are working on the same thing. Also, what I've seen is if you're concerned about behaviors that are happening in school and you want to increase those behaviors, you can ask the school or the teacher to have a reward chart and check it off and then send it home every day. Say it's a daily reward chart and you provide the rewards at home. I've done that with parents to promote positive behaviors in school, but there might not be rewards in school that the child is interested in earning, but maybe they love watching wrestling at home, or they love a specific show at home. So when I send the chart home, the child knows if I have a wonderful day in school and complete all my work or do specific behaviors, I'm able to earn this from my parent. And also, I've had situations where parents are having some behavioral issues at home and they want to promote positive behaviors at home, but the child loves to earn rewards at school. So in special occasions, special instances, I've done that with parents where the child loves to play a game during counseling sessions, or there's a specific academic activity or friend that they like to be with. And I've done it where I spoke with the child and said, your parent wants you to work on completing chores at home, but I also want to see you do great at home. So every day your mom's going to send in your book bag with me the reward chart that you did at home. And because I also care about your behavior at home, you're going to get a reward at school for positive behaviors at home. And parents have told me, Ms. Desiree, I've seen a huge turnaround with my child based on you providing rewards for them at school as well for the reward chart I'm working with them at home for. So it can work both ways as long as their communication, the communication is good between you and your child's school or your child's teacher. So definitely speak to the staff members that work with your child and let them know what's happening, because they can also provide extra reinforcement for your child at school for positive behaviors. That was a good question. Anything else? Okay, I also want to tell you that if you want ideas for how to create reward systems, Amazon has and sells actual reward systems, like the magnetic ones that you can put on your fridge. I've recommended those to parents, and it comes with everything you need. So it's dry erase, so you can write on them. And also there's websites. If you just search free printable reward systems online, you can find tons of reward systems that they give you the template for it, and you can just decorate it. Canva, which is free, is also something you can use to create reward systems and add pictures and things of that nature. Any tips for co-parenting and using this system? Okay, so it can be if parents are on the same page and it's different households, and maybe on weekends your child goes and visits the other parent or specific days in the week, I would use the same reward chart across homes, so that both parents are working on the same skill or same behavior. You'll see quicker improvement that way if when they're in both environments, they're working on the same behaviors. However, there are times when children display different behaviors in different homes. So for instance, maybe when a child's with their mom, they clean up their room all the time, but they usually forget their homework. Then I would say, okay, the mother might just focus on improving the child completing their homework, and that's what they're earning rewards for at their mom's house. And at their father's house, maybe they don't do chores. It's very difficult for them to do chores, and you're trying to motivate them. Maybe the father might be focusing on that behavior. So there are instances where reward systems can be different in both households, if the behaviors that you're focusing on are different. But when it comes to rewards that they earn, this is where the communication has to happen. So if you're deciding that whatever behavior you're focusing on, that the child can only earn ice cream as a reward for doing the behaviors in your reward system, then you have to communicate that to the other parent. Because what you don't want to happen is that when they're with you, they only earn it for doing these behaviors, but when they're at the other parent's house, they're able to have ice cream as much as they want. Because then the child that's not going to motivate them to do those behaviors when they're with you, because they can just earn the reward when they're in the home of the other parent. So there has to be communication in terms of the rewards that are being used, and both parents have to be on the same page. So if you're co-parenting, once you create the system, you have the visual aid, maybe write down on the sheet the guidelines, the rewards that they're able to earn with you, the expectations for it, and share it with the other parent so they're fully aware. So with the rewards, they can tell them, no, your mom said that you can only earn this when you're engaging in these behaviors. And again, you can encourage other parents to use the system in their house as well. But try to have as much communication as you can. I know sometimes it's not perfect. Everybody runs their household a little different, but if possible, communicate. And again, both parents should want their child to improve in the area they're having difficulty with. So that's something you would express to the other parent. Our child is having difficulty in this area. I really want to see them improve in this area, and this is what I'm doing, and this is why I'm sharing it with you so we can be on the same page. So that would be my tip. Share with them the benefits of it, share with them why you're doing it, and also provide them the visual aids that you're using and the rewards. Discuss with them the rewards that you're using so that you can be on the same page with it. Because as well, if you're a parent that I know I don't recommend all the time using food and snacks, especially unhealthy foods, if it's something the child is earning every day. So if you're gonna use food, that is something that should be a discussion. So maybe one parent is like, I want my child to be healthy. Health is the top importance for me. Then you wouldn't want to use ice cream every day as a reward for the child in your reward system. So just communicating. But that's an amazing question. And from teenagers to going independent to college abroad. Okay, so reward systems, why it's important is because it improves independence and also self-monitoring. So as children get older, they should be able to self-monitor their own behavior and use self-monitor charts if needed to help them remember to do the positive behaviors. So especially from teenagers to going to college, you would say, if you started reward systems in your home, you would say, remember how these reward systems helped you to stay on track, engage in positive behaviors? Let's create a system for you to remember the tasks you have to do. Like as adults, I use it myself. I use checklists to remember the things that I've done. And they can reward themselves. That's something that us as adults do. Like sometimes if we're on an exercise regimen, right? We say, okay, if I exercise throughout the week, I'm going to get my cheat day where I can eat my favorite snack because I'm able to, control myself and exercise and do healthy habits during the week. That's something we can instill in our children, that you also should try to self-monitor yourself with positive behaviors, and you can also reward yourself. And even if they're going to college, they can share it with you. Once you've built that trust, like, hey, you're working on doing your homework or getting a certain grade every week if you study. Once you send that to me, I'm going to send you, whether it could be money, an extra $20 a week to reward you for the positive behavior you're showing in college. You're staying on track with your grades or staying on track with your laundry, whatever it is. You should teach your child to use reward systems for themselves, or at the very least checklists, or you can still keep that reward system going. It might just look different if your child is abroad. It could be every week you show me, your scores on your tests, and depending on what score you get, I'm going to send you a reward or a gift card or something like that. But you can still keep it going from teenager to independent living or the college experience. Hope that answered your question. Okay, I see a thumbs up. Wonderful. And again, if there's no other questions, or if you come up with questions, I'll just put my email in the chat. And you can always email me questions that you might have, places where you need resources, or you've been searching and you can't find a resource that's helpful. You can send me an email, and a lot of the resources I have already, I can email you back them. But I just want to thank everyone for coming to this workshop. If you were in the previous ones, for attending the previous workshops, I hope they were helpful. And like Carolina said, you can go back, you can check them out. And again, if you have questions regarding them, you can send me an email if you're confused about something. So thank you again for attending.
Thank you so much once again, Desiree, for these sessions. I believe this is the last one for now, but we should definitely think about, maybe doing some things in the future as well. So thank you again for, coming to Aruba on vacation and reaching out. We appreciate it. We appreciate your enthusiasm and wanting to contribute in some way or another to our foundation, but also to Aruba. So for everybody who is asking, you can go to the Fundación Autismo YouTube page. If you go on our Facebook right now, you can find the link to one of the older videos, and then you can find the other videos. And that way you can watch them, you can share them with others. Deseray had a session on discipline versus punishment. She had a session on sexuality and relationships. And she also had one on challenging behaviors. So this one today was on reward systems. So I think it's very nice if you kind of get a little bit of all of them. That will help you with maybe addressing challenges that you would like to address. Once again, thank you very much, Deseray. And of course, maybe next time you come to Aruba, we can do an in-person session with parents and educators as well.
Yes, I would love that.
Thank you. All right. I don't know if anybody else has any other questions. If not, then thank you so much for attending today.
Okay, good night, everyone.